Yes, nice. Well, yeah, it's I mean, the schedule is what it is. You know, you play the late game last night, then you travel across the country and play a 4 o'clock tomorrow. Uh, you know, both teams have to deal with it. It's just that time of year. But if I had a preference, I'd prefer the 4 over the 850s.
How's Rope doing today?
Yeah, he's fine. Just saw him in there. He looks good. So we had an optional today. He's not skating, but I'm not concerned.
Is Marchbank going with you?
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah, he'll be traveling. He looked good this morning. He's out there for the skate, so that'll be the next step for him and see how he feels.
This game between, especially really throughout the series and throughout the playoffs, do you let players figure out what they want to do with their bodies? Do you guys have guidelines? How does that work?
A lot of communication with the players. Everybody's individual has individual preparation needs, you know. And then this is a unique situation where it's not a night game, day off, night game, you know, where, you know, we would typically probably take the day off today and then have the opportunity to pregame skate tomorrow, where we wouldn't make that optional. Everyone would skate. With the late game last night, we had an optional. Today we don't have a pregame skate tomorrow. Some guys won't skate. You know, they'll just go game to game, which is, everybody has a feeling on that. Some guys, you know, want to make sure they get out for some type of skate prior to the next game.
You had spoken to this being the 3-game series, you know, these last 3. I'm assuming the message is let's not come back, you know, for a game 7. Let's just take care of business again. What is that message like for your team?
Yeah, well, that's exactly the message. I think, you know, anytime you get an opportunity to eliminate a team and save yourself the wear and tear of an extra game in a series, you know, that's helpful as you move through the playoff trail. You know, us finishing off Minnesota in 6 rather than 7 gave us an extra day of rest and an extra day of healing and all those things, and I think that adds up. You might not get the immediate benefit of that, but it adds up. So you want to take advantage of these elimination opportunities.
I know that obviously there's still plenty of work to be done here, but just for you this season, what has it meant to be down here and coaching these guys leading them to this point?
Yeah.
You know, especially after, you know, tough end of Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been fantastic, you know. I mean, from being welcomed with open arms by the community and Jim and the Stars organization. I've loved the player group. I mean, obviously some familiarity there with Pav and Dadenoff, but you know, I've gotten to know the rest of the group obviously through the season and really enjoy being around them. They got a great energy and a great attitude about them. You know, I think our coaching staff has been it's been a seamless transition. You know, obviously I had Steve Spott with me, but everyone else is new, and you know, everyone's kind of, the symmetry's been really good there. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and it's nice having a normal year again. I mean, you know, it feels like we were just in the bubble and then the COVID seasons and all that. So, you know, I know last year was normal, but this to me feels like the first real normal year back.
You speak to the roster. You were talking about, you know, liking so many guys in this team.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like the perfect blend of the veteran guys, but then when I remember talking to Wyatt for the first time, and it was like, this guy is so young, 19 years old.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem too big for him too.
Yeah.
It just does kind of seem like that perfect blend to the outside. Does it feel that way to you?
Yeah, we've got a great blend. You know, we've kind of got the older guys, Suter and Pav. You know, I think I'm not sure Benner's kind of right on the line there. And then you've got kind of that next group of guys, Benner and Segi. And then you've got that next group of guys, which is Rupe and Miro and Robo and all those guys. And then we've got a real young group. I mean, when you look at the rosters we played, just looking at Minnesota and Seattle, we've got Harley, Dellandrea, Johnson, all three young players in the lineup every night here, playing important roles for us. I think look at Seattle, they've got Beniers. I guess they had that the young kid they had up on the wing, Cartier, yeah. I think Minnesota had a real veteran team dress, so it's rare this time of year when you get down to the last 8, last 4 that you see that many young kids in the lineup, playing important roles. The teams tend to get older and more veteran, but our young group has played really well, and that includes Nils Lundqvist, who kicked in 60 games for us this year during the year.
Yesterday morning, Joe made a point of saying that a lot of the Robertson criticism was media-generated fan stuff. You guys mentioned the same thing after the game. Having this kind of leadership in place of guys like you and Joe and guys like that to kind of block out the noise, whether it's us or the fans.
Yeah.
How important is that for a 23-year-old who kind of is just feeling pressure for the first time in this environment?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think you'd have to ask him, how important it is, but, I think we're both speaking the truth. I think, Jason's gotten a lot of, I don't want to say unwarranted attention, because when you score 109 points and, you get paid, you're going to draw attention, and you're going to face criticism, and he's going to have to get used to that, because that comes with the job and signing that contract and being the player he is. But I think at ice level and room level where we are every night, I think everyone sees, he cares, he comes in, he wants to help us win, he's working at his game, and for me, that's all that matters, and that's all that matters to the group. As long as he's all in, we can live with the ups and downs production.
Players always take things from coaches. What have you taken? Have you taken things from various players?
Yeah.
Different stops?
Yeah, I take a lot. I mean, I think when you trust your leadership group, they make most of the decisions, just through my communication with them. Talking to Pav about line combinations, talking to Jamie Benn about schedule and, flight times and dinners and things like that. All the things you think, would be autonomous to our decision making. Really, those guys are driving the bus on a lot of that, because you trust them and they have a better feel than any of us, because they're living it. Okay, thank you.
Well, Game 6, what's the message?
Just stick with what we're doing. Those are 2 big wins, and we'd stuck to our game plan, and it worked. So when we play our game, it's kind of going back to the Minnesota series. When we play our game and the way we can, it's usually a good outcome. So just sticking to our game plan and repeating what we've been doing.
You come back here for 5, you go there for 6, regardless of the outcome. Now you have to come back here. How does the travel feel different, if at all, at this point in the series?
Yeah, time change. It's during the season you don't realize it as much, just because you're moving in and out of spots so much. But it's a thing in playoffs and something you got to adjust to. So long flight too. So just we're covering the best you can, making sure you're checking all the boxes so you're ready to go. Game time.
Do you sleep on planes, or do you have to keep a certain rhythm just with this type of travel?
Yeah, I don't sleep on planes. I think a lot of guys do, but you get a bit more sleep, but it might affect your sleep at night. So it's give and take.
What have you learned, or what at least what's it been like playing alongside Radek Faksa? He had a really good game for this team last night, and you guys kind of similar roles. You were up and down the lineup. He's been up and down in the lineup. You guys both kind of serve a penalty killing role. What's that relationship been like with Radek for you?
It's been great, yeah. I just love how hard he works. He puts his nose over the puck, and it's never an effort thing with him. You're never worried about that. So, I feel like we play similar styles in that sense. So, I think right now we're just trying to be hard to play against. Making whatever line we play against, have a tough night, so yeah, I think we did a better job of it last night, and hopefully we can continue to build off it.